Alright, you guys should be able to hear me now. Is this through the mic? Let me just... Yep, definitely through the mic. Alright. I had the audio off because my last stream, I had kind of ended it and just left on the screen, but I muted it, obviously, so that's why it was off to begin with. Good thing I noticed that right away, because that would have been weird if it didn't have audio for like 5 minutes and I was just talking. We do actually have some tornado warnings already in Louisiana. That's why I'm starting this stream so early. We have tons of tornado warnings already. I don't want to let any of that, pass us without me streaming. Also, I have plans this afternoon and evening, so I'm not going to be able to be streaming, at like 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be the most ideal time probably for the severe weather, but unfortunately it is Easter, or I guess fortunately, but I'm not going to be able to be streaming during some of those peak hours today. Obviously, we all have plans too, but I'm going to be trying to stick with you guys here as long as I possibly can, and just giving us some severe weather coverage. I'm going to go ahead and try to pull up the comments here. I always do that on my phone. All right, we already have 358 viewers. Good job, guys. Welcome to the stream. Be sure to like the stream when you first get in. It really helps the algorithm. I always mention that. It probably gets really annoying, but Happy Easter, everybody. Oh, yeah, people saying Happy Easter. We have active tornadoes right now, so we're gonna need to talk about some of this. This one's radar indicated up to the north. Also, this one, but this one's observed. There's also, it says observed over here, but I think that's the same warning. So we probably have one tornado on the ground currently. Let's try to pinpoint where this tornado is in here. If we pull up our velocity, ooh, this isn't even making it easier. We probably have to go storm relative. There's a lot of wind out there. This is when it's really important to use storm relative, because there's so much wind, not associated with the storms, that we have to kind of siphon out. That's what this is for. And this makes it a little bit easier. I'm thinking somewhere in here is where we're seeing tornadic activity. I think it's messing up a little bit. So let's try to get this on screen. Here we go. So I think somewhere in there, we'll put it in motion here. Yeah, somewhere in here is where our tornado should be, approaching Ringgold, if that tornado is still on the ground. So we'll have to just keep watching that one. Is there any chance of tornadoes in M? If you're talking about Mississippi, then yes, there is. Or Memphis, yes, there is. If you're talking about Monroe, there is. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Mississippi, though. Or Mississippi. I just said Mississippi and pointed to Alabama. Those two states are pretty similar, so I get them mixed up a lot. But yeah, Mississippi's right here. And there is a chance of tornadoes. So... yeah, we have a pretty good chance. Okay, we're already not responding here, so it's gonna be a long day, guys. It's gonna be a long day. Let's get it loaded back up, though. How are you guys doing, though? What are your plans for Easter? It's if you're in the deep south, it's probably gonna be, well, I guess it's kind of tough to have plans right now for Easter, but what plans do you have that are safe given the current situation? If he means Missouri, there's also a chance, but definitely Mississippi has the higher chance out of those two states. Somebody asked if there is... Somebody said thank you for being live, first off. Thank you for joining. Somebody, nothing. People have no plans. Makes sense. It doesn't even feel like Easter. Does anybody actually feel like it's Easter today? I got dressed up kind of like Easter, and that's the only reason why I'm kind of feeling like it's Easter, but... Oh, so there is a tornado here near Minden. Was that the town we were looking at? No. Where's Minden? I know that Shreveport... Is that how you say that? Shreveport or Shreveport? I think it's Shreveport. That's what I've always called it, at least. We've had pretty much a tornado warning come through there as well. This whole corridor right here in northern Louisiana has been pretty widespread. We're going to need to watch this closely. This is the little pocket that's going to move, obviously, eastward. It's kind of bowing out, but this is going to generally, in the next hour or so, move towards the Mississippi-Louisiana border. Also, for southern Arkansas there, we're going to be dealing with, some activity as well. It's bowing out, and this is really has, like, some integrated supercells in it, which is really, really interesting. This is kind of making me feel like the chance for... Oh, it's Shreveport? Shreveport, okay. Okay, I got it, guys. I got it. So many people corrected me. Thank you, though. You guys are protecting me to make sure I don't make, like, a fool of myself, so I appreciate it. I'm going to try to pace myself with my voice. I usually get really excited in the beginning, and then I'm just, like, done. By the time it's, like, 3 hours in, I'm going to try to, like... it's kind of sad to have to hold back, like, how excited I am to talk to you guys, but I kind of got to keep it kind of low-key. I got to really pace myself. I get very hyper on these streams. I enjoy it a lot. Like, uploading videos is fun daily, but really when I stream, it's a lot more interactive, obviously. I want to see how many likes we have. You guys are probably killing it. Yes, 100 likes already, guys. Thank you so much. What is my forecast for Richmond tomorrow? I think there's a good chance for tornadoes in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. I really do. We'll talk about that in a while. Oh, Shreveport. It doesn't... The V is silent? I did make a fool of myself. Who would have thought, though? Shreveport? Are you kidding me? Let's see here. Hi, everybody. Will I be streaming tomorrow? Probably not. I'm probably going to be pretty much tanked by the end of this stream, and it usually takes me a couple days to, like, fully recover from talking in these streams, so probably not. And considering it's the morning time, too. Okay, guys. I'm just not going to say it anymore. The storms are past that city that I'm not going to say, so we're not going to talk about them anymore. That's pretty much where we're at now. We're going to go back to reflectivity. Just take a look. They're all radar indicated right now, so we don't have a confirmed tornado. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to actually just turn off our radar for a second. Also, all of this stuff. So we can look at our... Did I turn that off? Okay. So we can look at our day one categorical outlook. And look at that, guys. We have a marginal risk here in this green area. Very, very large here. Hampton, Virginia, welcome. It's very close. I'm from Hampton Roads as well. In this yellow area, we have a slight risk. In the orange area, which is where we've seen all of our activity take place so far, we have a enhanced risk, and then this large red area, we have a moderate risk. So the reason people thought that we might have a high risk today is because the moderate risk is so large. Typically, that means they're leaving room to possibly put a high risk in there. They're not going to do it, guys. I'm just putting that out there. I think there's a very small chance that they actually put a high risk, and here's why. We have a lot of convection out there in front of it. That's going to really make for the potential for this to be a little bit of an underperformer and really just not be as bad as it looks. Don't let that make you feel like you're fine or you're safe if you live in this region. That just means a little bit more like a moderate risk or an enhanced risk, not like a high risk. A high risk, the only way a high risk gets warranted is if pretty much everywhere in the high risk sees significant severe weather. That's just my opinion on that. If there's not widespread severe weather in a high risk, it is a complete bust. So that's why they're not doing it. Yes, people in the marginal risk should take it quite seriously. You're going to have thunderstorms, probably strong thunderstorms that could have some severe weather implications in it. So just be careful. But really, it's the yellow, orange, and red where you're going to want to really just be, have your phone, have the news on by your side constantly just to make sure nothing's going on. let's see. All right. So what we're gonna do is, I hope that was easy to understand there. Mostly there's a chance for winds up in New York, I would say. Somebody said, is Tallahassee going to be in the enhanced? Probably not. They're right on the edge, and I don't think they'll extend that anymore, but it really just depends. So let's go ahead and take a look here at our wind probability. First off, we have very high wind risk here for Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and the reason for this is because the atmosphere actually has a lot of wind. So even without these storms, there's a lot of wind going on today and tomorrow, actually. Mostly tomorrow, there's going to be a big chance for damaging wind outside of thunderstorms. So there's a lot of wind out there, and these storms are only going to help bring that down and cause even more damaging wind, and that's why they're expecting such intense damaging wind. We don't have a significant damaging wind probability, though. Let's move over to hail. And what we're going to be dealing with is 30% chance in this orange area. I don't know what this 5% chance is right here. It's kind of a glitch. But in the green, we have a 5% chance of hail. In the yellow area, I think we have 15% chance. That's going to be for Nashville, Atlanta, areas like that. And then in the orange, we have 30% chance. Little Rock, Jackson, Birmingham, all of these areas have a pretty enhanced chance for hail, I would say. Now let's look at that tornado probability now. That's probably what most of you are worried about, and we have a very high chance for tornadoes, actually. We have 2% in the green, 5% in the yellow, 10% in the orange, I believe that is. I can't get it to pull up. Yeah, that's correct. And then I think the orange is, what, 15% chance? This thing's glitching out so bad I can hardly tell. But I think that's 15% chance. Here for Monroe, Greenville, Jackson, Columbus, Birmingham, Huntsville, Montgomery, and then even touching Atlanta there. So we have a lot of areas with very, very high chance for tornadoes here, and even a significant tornado area right there, meaning they're seeing the chance for EF2s and aboves within that chance, within this area. So definitely going to be looking for large damaging tornadoes for Jackson, Nashville, Montgomery, Atlanta. There is going to be some large tornadoes today somewhere in here, so definitely looking at a dangerous situation. Fountain Place said weak spin-up tornadoes. That's it. That is not the case today, unfortunately. That's misinformation. We're looking for the chance for supercells with embedded areas of rotation, and we're seeing a very high chance for damaging tornadoes today, EF2s to EF5s. So obviously there can be some weak spin-up tornadoes, but also we're looking at the chance that there could be damaging large tornadoes, very, very dangerous tornadoes. So yes, we are looking at a pretty good chance for tornadoes here today, especially within our moderate risk, but that even extends up again in the Nashville and areas in this enhanced risk as well, where the atmosphere just seems really favorable for tornado development. So what we're going to do is now, I guess we can look at our simulated radar. Probably a lot of you want to see kind of what's coming up. So we're going to take a look at our model run here. 10% chance for tornadoes is relatively high, actually, so it might sound pretty low. But when I say about a 10% chance for tornadoes, it's within 25 miles of a given location. So everybody just try to picture 25 miles from your home location in any direction. All right, and once you have that pictured, now imagine there's a 1 in 10 chance that a tornado is going to hit somewhere within that region. That's pretty much what a 10% chance of tornadoes is. Once you think about it that way, it seems a lot more dangerous than what 10% sounds like at first. That's how I always tell people to think about a 10% chance of tornadoes. And anything higher, obviously, you get a higher probability there. I hope that kind of helps you understand more of like what that means. So what I'm seeing here is already the model. I don't like where this model's going with this because it already has these storms behind where our storms are actually at. It says this is where we'll be at 11. We're at 11:30, so I guess I can give it some leeway, but really I think at 11 they were already past Shreveport by a pretty far margin there, but we can check. We can check on that. I want to see where they're at right now, but I think, yeah, they're pretty far ahead of where the model thought they'd be. So somebody said they're surprised there's not a high risk. I explained it a couple minutes ago. You probably just got here, but really, the reason why there's not a high risk is because there is some convection out in front of it, and that's going to really eat away the potential for like widespread severe weather. Moderate risks are pretty rare too, and there's a lot of chance for tornadoes. And I mean all sorts of severe weather implications as well. So really, it doesn't really warrant a high risk in my opinion. But you won't know until after. That's the thing with these. All right, so we're going to take our model through to 12 p.m. We're 25 minutes away from 12 p.m. You see, it thinks it would be at Shreveport. I think we're a little bit, or Shreveport, or whatever it is. I think we're a little bit ahead of this. Let's get to 1 p.m. Again, I mean, our storms are already past this. Let's switch to the NAM. I think the HRRR, I'm not liking the handle that has on this. I like this a lot more, actually, from what I can tell. This is a lot more, seems like what we're dealing with currently, and seems to have panned out better. So notice all the convection the model's picking up on. Keep in mind, the NAM model is known for overdoing this. However, even with that in mind, we do have some bands out in front of this band as well. By 1 p.m., this is going to be the look as this loads in. We're going to have these bands out in front, and also we're going to have this line come through here as well. That's in about an hour and a half from now. Let's look at 2 p.m. And then it's going to be, we're going to see these storms out in front potentially. It probably won't be this widespread. Obviously, like I said, the NAM overdoes things. But really, this will probably be scattered thunderstorms throughout there. And that's going to eat up some of the Cape for sure. That's going to eat up some of that potential energy that these storms that are coming through are going to give. These are going to have widespread damaging wind, though, I'm sure. Especially up here, they're indicating in Arkansas, northern Mississippi, and even in through Tennessee. Definitely widespread damaging wind because of this bow-shaped storm mode. Let's move towards 3 p.m. And this is probably around the time I will be done streaming because of my plans I have later on, unfortunately. But we're going to have embedded supercells with these. Definitely could be a dangerous situation. Let's move towards 4 p.m. And this is really when things are going to get ramping up for sure. We see these supercells coming in front of our main line as well. They're probably going to be moving from south to north. And these will end up in central regions of Mississippi by maybe early evening. And we can see that the model is indicating these very large cells. These, again, probably will be in the form of supercells by 5 p.m. This main line also could have embedded supercells. Just with how the environment is set up right now, it seems like pretty much most storms will try to go into a storm mode similar to a supercell, which is obviously the more tornado-causing storm mode. We have all of these embedded supercells along here. It's going to be an active day, guys. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be here for all of it, like I said. But, I mean, we're going to be dealing with very, very intense storms here. Yeah, 3 tornadoes already in Louisiana. So, I mean, we're already seeing a pretty active day. By the time we're at about 7 p.m., we're going to see Louisiana kind of come into an end for the most part. Mississippi well underway, and also Alabama starting to get underway, as well as Tennessee, central Tennessee, that is. Let's move towards 8 p.m. And yeah, this is when it's going to be starting to get really bad for Mississippi. All of these look like supercells, 1, 2, 3, probably, a handful of embedded ones right here. I think we're going to have some tornadoes along these lines. Alabama. I don't even think this is the worst for Alabama yet. Let's move towards 9 p.m. Again, by 9 p.m. it's going to be dark. This is when things start to become more and more dangerous. And we're going to see these lines of storms heading in front of our main line of storms. Again, all of these, there's probably a handful of embedded supercells in there for Mississippi. We're also going to see some discrete supercells probably out ahead for Alabama. Let's see. Right, so now we have two lines, and this one's really probably going to eat away at this main line of thunderstorms, because these ones aren't as intense as the back ones. By this time, northern Alabama is really getting in on it. Again, that was 10 p.m. Let's move towards 11 p.m. And then our main line is going to be mostly making its transition from Mississippi into Alabama, but it's not over for Mississippi. Let's see, towards 12 a.m. tonight. Be sure to like the stream, by the way, guys, for all those people joining in. It's going to help get the word out to more people, just so we can get people more aware of what's going on today. So feel free to do that. That would really help out the stream. Also, the super chat button is always down there in the bottom right. I know not a lot of people probably are spending a lot of money right now, including me, so I understand that if I probably won't get very many donations today, but if you feel inclined, it's down there in the bottom right. We see for Mississippi, we're still dealing with some storms, but the worst of it is probably located in Alabama and then Tennessee by the time we're at about 12 a.m. Let's go ahead and move towards 1 a.m. And now it's basically all Alabama by this point. Supercells all along in here. We're also seeing Tennessee. This looks like a more multicellular storm mode or cluster. So we're going to be dealing with a little less of that tornadic activity, I think, in eastern Tennessee. In Alabama, more tornado activity by 1 a.m. This is overnight stuff. So this is, frightening, obviously, because most people will be asleep by this point. A lot of supercells going on in Alabama by this point. Finally moving into Georgia by about 2 a.m. Let's move towards 3 a.m. I'm going to move over and let's take a look at the tornado watch in a minute, guys. I'm just going to take this through all the way to when the East Coast is expecting storms. Supercells for Atlanta, all along that northwestern region of Georgia, all of eastern Alabama by this point, even the panhandle of Florida probably getting some supercell activity, even eastern Tennessee. Let's move towards 4 a.m. I don't think they will upgrade it to a high risk because there is some things that are holding this one back a little bit. We're seeing Alabama come to an end. It's just past Montgomery, and it's for southeastern Alabama by about 4 a.m. Northern Georgia, we're seeing a lot of that activity. Let's move towards 5 a.m. Thank you, Jonathan Wilson, for the donation. I appreciate it a lot. We're seeing mostly the storm mode by about 5 a.m. It seems like tomorrow morning the storm mode is going to go from discrete supercells over to a more linear storm type. And what I mean by linear is, well, let's head back a couple hours. You see how right here at 2 a.m., let me draw on the screen for you guys. I just want to explain this because I feel like education is important here. You see how we have one there and then kind of a lull, and then we have another one, and then kind of a lull, and then another one, kind of a lull, another one, and they're separated. That's discrete, and they're going to be able to eat up more energy and intensify more and more and more this way. However, let me end that. Let me clear that and turn that off. We're going to move forward. Thank you, Jonathan Wilson, for the $14 donation. I appreciate it so much. Let's go ahead and move back towards about 5 a.m. And here you can see they've come together. They've really built in, and what happens here is we see a solid line. Actually, I didn't start that. I want to draw on the screen here. We see a solid... Why is it not working? Is it on? We see a solid line here all the way up. Pretty much no separation between them. Steve Wetzel donated $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And what happens is this creates less potential for tornadoes, slightly less. Keep in mind, there is still going to be a big threat for tornadoes, just not quite as big as it was back in this region, back there. And what we're going to see is this line is going to generally move eastward like this. And it's going to stay quite intense until it's offshore. So let's just take it forward even further. Let me get that off screen real quick. So let's go towards 6 a.m. We're going to move more towards the mid-Atlantic now. You can see, again, more of a linear type with possibly embedded supercells. What that means is there are still going to be supercells. They're just going to be attached to that line. And that creates a little less intense storms, a little bit less chance for tornadoes. But there still can be very large tornadoes in those. It's just not quite as common. So that's going to a little bit diminish that risk is if we have those linear types of storms like that model is indicating. And by the time we're at about 7 a.m., it's reaching Charlotte, Roanoke, almost to Columbia, South Carolina, and probably around just past Macon, I would say. Let's go ahead and take it towards 8 a.m. Now we're into tomorrow, obviously, by this point. We can see by the time we're at about 8 a.m., we see Roanoke, Charlotte, Columbia once again. Let's take it to 9 a.m. Thank you so much. Oh, 2 donations. Steve Wetzel with another $5. Thank you so much. And then Rosa, I can't even pronounce your last name, donated $4 as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Now let's take it towards 9 a.m. We can see it's past Roanoke. And also, we can see Harrisonburg starting to get that in Charlottesville. This is a much earlier start to these storms than what we were expecting. Sorry, a much later start. We were expecting these to have passed by this morning. We've seen central North Carolina getting in on some of this. Also, central South Carolina. Earlier model guidance thought that these would be reaching the coast by about this time, but they're, closer to actually being more in the central regions of these states. And what we're going to do is quickly... I want to put the temperature on screen because by 9 a.m., well, actually, we should start with the wind. Start with the wind here. And this is for a lot of my local folks. They're in Eastern Virginia and Eastern North Carolina. That's the only reason why I'm showing this. And then we're going to go back to actually looking at radar. Look at these winds, guys. This model is picking up on. For Hampton Roads, 25 miles per hour sustained. That's not even the gusts. We also see Raleigh with like 21, 20 in Columbia. So what's happening here is they're coming from south to north. That's going to push those temperatures that would normally be for like the deep south all the way up into the mid-Atlantic, and that's what's going to rapidly warm us up tomorrow. So by the time we're at 9 a.m., we're already going to be in the upper 60s. And if we take it to like 11, let's take a look at what those temperatures are going to look like here. We'll be approaching the higher temperatures. Lower 70s, maybe upper 60s. Let's take it to noontime, or a little bit after noon. And this is when we will see the 70s start to arrive. And this is definitely going to be sufficient for severe weather, maybe even 80s down there for South Carolina. Much warmer than what we're dealing with this weekend. So let's backtrack. Put the radar back on screen. That was what I wanted to note because, listen, since we're seeing those, the later onset of the storms, it's going to allow for the heat of the day to arrive before the storms do, and that's going to create a much more intense outlook. So let's take it to 10 a.m. You can see this is more like a embedded supercell. Again, the ones that are more separated usually are worse, but we are seeing kind of these shapes that you don't like to see that can cause tornadoes, and we do have a high tornado risk tomorrow as well. I'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about our day 2 outlook. Let's take it to 11 a.m. You see Raleigh, Richmond maybe getting in on these, even though this model says they'll be to the south. Roanoke Rapids hasn't even gotten them yet. So we're reaching noontime, and these still haven't reached the coast here for my local folks. They're arriving maybe around 12. I posted something on my own personal Facebook for my local friends. I think the arrival for Hampton Roads and Eastern North Carolina is probably going to be around 12 to 2 p.m. Even though the news is going to tell you morning time arrival, they're talking about this little bits of rain and showers that are possible. I think the main arrival of the actual thunderstorms is probably going to be around 12 to 2 p.m. tomorrow, which is obviously worst case scenario. Thankfully, this model seems to have them weaken by the time they're reaching Eastern Virginia, quite a bit actually. Don't let that make you feel too secure about it. Obviously, we want to still be precautious, but it does look like from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. I think will weaken a little bit, and their storm mode will become maybe more of like a pulse thunderstorm. That's what we call that, where there's just these little tiny discrete storms right there, usually not tornado causing whatsoever. But however, that's just one model. Let's take a look at that day 2 categorical risk. And we see there's a slight chance for severe weather here in the yellow, which includes some of my Hampton Roads folks, as well as people down there for Elizabeth City. THXGSUS. Oh, thanks, Jesus. Said donated $5. Thank you so much. We're going to see that enhanced risk not quite reach the coast, probably because the models think that the storms might weaken by the time they're reaching the coast. That's probably why. But we're going to have an enhanced risk here for a lot of the central regions of these states. Let's take a look. Actually, they don't have the tornado risks, unfortunately, here. But I can tell you there's a hatched area for tornado risk here with a 10% in this enhanced risk. We are looking at a pretty high chance for tornadoes for this region tomorrow. All right, now let's move back to the current radar. I wanted to do like a huge update just kind of on my thinking for today and tomorrow, because that's what today's video was going to be about, but I just decided to start streaming earlier on. Let's take a look at our current radar here. Let's put our warnings, watches, and advisories back on screen. We have 3 tornado warnings still. We have 2 observed tornadoes. We do have a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch for Jackson, Mississippi, as well as Winona, Columbus, Tupelo, Meridian, Greenville, Clarksdale. All of these regions are included in this particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. You might be wondering, what's the difference? Well, they expect pretty dangerous tornadoes to be possible or even possibly likely within this region. All of these counties within the purple color shade there, especially, and you can see our storms are probably about 30 minutes to an hour from arriving in this area. So we're going to very shortly see these storms begin for this region, but it's going to be ending at about 9 p.m. So we're going to see storms throughout this region for a long time here. This one's going to expire at about 1 p.m. Probably because these storms to the south are going to be kind of lasting pretty long for a lot of these regions, like Jackson, Meridian. Okay, good. We have moderators in the stream right now helping out, just making sure we keep all the spam and off-topic chats to a minimal here. Let's take a look at our individual cells here. We have 2 observed tornadoes. This one's observed currently. This one was observed. Don't know if it's observed right now. Heading towards Jonesboro, Louisiana. We had a tornado in Jonesboro, Arkansas a while back, but not right now. Yeah, this is kind of overwhelming, the amount of tornado warnings we have right now. I'm going to try to keep track of all of them. First things first, we're going to look at our velocity. And this is a tool that we use, obviously, to see mostly our rotation. So let's look at the storm relative velocity. If I can get this to load up. Yeah, so we have a lot of rotation here near Quitman and Hodge. We also have some rotation located here just to the north of that one. I'm seeing some rotation here, and this is pretty much what we expected today. Lots and lots of rotation, guys. So this wasn't unexpected by any means, but we have very, very active rotation throughout this little corridor here in northern Louisiana. This seems to be our most active area to begin. Yeah, velocity, this is also overwhelming because we have such, a large amount of areas of rotation. Currently, the only area I'm seeing where I feel like there's probably an active tornado is this one up here, possibly. I want to see if that's where our main area of rotation is. Now, that's a really cool tool. Yeah, I think there is possibly some spin up tornadoes or a spin up tornado happening somewhere in this area. Let me get it to load up properly, actually. It likes to glitch out like that. Keep an eye. I'm going to draw on the screen where you guys need to keep an eye on. Right around here, we have a lot of active. Well, this is what we'd call typically a potential hook echo. It's not very strong, but right around there. Let's take a look at that velocity. We want to see the green up against the red. That would indicate an area of rotation. And you can see that there's a lot of green right here and a lot of red. One means incoming, one means outcoming. I can check that real quick. So that's outgoing. Where's our radar site? That's another thing you have to pay attention to with this, is you have to know. I have to turn this off because it's drawing all over the place. Our radar site is there. So let me clean all that up because it's going to be confusing. Okay. So this is kind of what's happening. We just got an extended tornado warning right there for an observed tornado. Like I said, I think there's a tornado on the ground here, and it is observed, so that was correct. We're seeing winds move in this direction in the red and then this direction in the green. Obviously, this would create rotation in this direction, and that's likely where our tornado is located. So let me get that off screen, all the drawing. Hopefully that all makes sense. I know I can get a little technical sometimes, so I wanted to try to make it as simple as possible. So there's our rotation. The next thing we need to do, if there's rotation, that does not mean there is a tornado on the ground for sure. So the next thing we need to do is go to our correlation coefficient. And this is one of my favorite radar tools here. This shows us the size of the objects that the radar is picking up. In the red, that's likely rain or very small hail-sized objects. In the yellow, you're approaching larger objects. And in the green, that's probably little bits of debris. Nothing huge, but that's probably some debris. So this shows us the size of the objects, and that should be obvious why that's a very useful tool. When we see that under a rotation, that's a good sign that we see an active tornado. So is there two tornadoes here? Because I want to get to the bottom of this. If this is an area of rotation here, I would think there possibly is two tornadoes. Yeah, is this a tornado in here? Let's take a look at the correlation coefficient, because it says observed for both tornado warnings now, which, yeah, I don't know if there's one up in here, but I know right here we are dealing with an active, a little bit of an active area with some rotation and some damage, very slight damage being picked up. And that's going to be heading towards Vienna, Louisiana, and also Debach, if that's how you pronounce that. So we definitely have a potential area of rotation and potential small tornado on the ground, creating some minimal damage right now. Obviously, this can intensify in a quick hurry, so we're going to need to watch this closely. This one's not observed currently, so I don't think there's an active tornado within here as of right now, but still take cover if you're in Jonesboro, Quitman, Eros, Chatham, Lucky, Saline. You're all under a tornado warning. This program is called WSV3. You can search it up on Google. It's a $25 a month subscription, and it's a program you get on your computer. It's a very, very good program, but it is not very affordable for the average just person wanting to look at radar. Unless it is for you personally. I would recommend it if it is. All right, let's turn on our live scan. This is going to get us more frequent updates. Let's see. Waiting for our next update. I think one's coming in just a second. Again, this potential tornado is going to be headed towards Debach and Vienna, or somewhere in between, I would say. Let's see if we can get a town name for somewhere in between there. We can't. But it's going to be heading in the general direction of Downsville, Farmerville, Louisiana. This one's on pace to probably cross through Arkansas if it was to last that long, and then back into Mississippi. we're getting our newest scan here. Let's see if we get it come in. Okay, we're getting a live scan right now for this. So we're going to see if we get more intense or less intense. Hopefully we get less intense with the size of objects we're getting picked up there. Also, if you guys see that there is an active tornado anywhere on Twitter or anything, you can let me know in the chat, and that would be really helpful, obviously. Let's see, we're not getting our newest scan yet. This is looking less intense on radar, but still, we do have that area of rotation, and that is quite common in a situation like this one, where there's really a lot of wind implications, like shear and all that. That really creates for a lot of tornado threats and even weaker-looking storms. That's why this day is so dangerous. Yeah, I've been looking at the correlation coefficient for a while now. Somebody said look at the debris map thingy. I'm pretty sure that's what you were referring to. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we are still seeing that area with larger objects. It passed through Arcadia, and then it passed over to there, and the area is growing, but we're not really seeing larger objects, so I would say this is possibly not even a tornado on the ground. Possibly is, though. It's probably on the weaker side as of right now. Typically, once we start to see the blues and you know, deeper, well, I really look for the blues, honestly. Once we see the blues, that's when it's like picking up large objects. So we're going to watch this one very closely. Let's put it back into motion. You can see where it's passed, and it was weaker for a moment. It kind of weakened here, and it started to intensify. It's going to pass south of Debach, I believe. These things can turn in a hurry, though, so don't feel too safe. If you're anywhere in the morning, you are at risk here. We're getting a new scan right now, so we're going to see what happens with this. Okay, so thankfully, it looks like it weakened to just yellow. So we're seeing a little less damage, but we're going to continue to track this one actively. Wow, two donations back-to-back. Thank you so much, guys. K. Hanley, 1022, said, always watching. Thank you for the important, accurate information. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the donation. And Kate Roles, if that's what your name is, donated $5 as well, and said, good job with the thumbs up. Thank you for the donations, and thank you for watching the stream, of course, as well. Again, if you guys want to do your part, you don't have to donate to help with the chat. Obviously, also, you can like the stream, and that helps with the algorithm to suggest the video to more people that might not know that there's storms coming, and that's why it's so important that we do get, you know, as many viewers as possible, just so we can get the information out there to people. It's surprising how many people aren't aware of severe weather threats when they're happening. So it's really important that people know this is happening today, in my opinion, but I think that's pretty obvious. We are seeing an area. We'll go back to our rotation. This is a rapidly changing situation, guys. I'm seeing lots of rotation here. Also some up near Debach as well. I think that's our area where we're seeing the actual damage potential as well. Let's see if we have any other pockets. This one's kind of broad. Oh, we're also seeing an area heading towards Chatham. Let's see if there's any. I don't think that's damage. That's a close call to the north of Chatham. I don't think so. I don't think that's tornado damage. It's not even located in the right spot, I don't think. So this one for right now is probably just radar indicated right here, but it is heading towards Eros and Chatham, so be on the lookout. Yeah, that is another reason, but it just switched to radar indicated, so I think that it is pretty much because the damage receded because the tornado pretty much receded as well, but I can almost guarantee you we did have a confirmed tornado for a while there that crossed through Arcadia and then down towards Vienna, but it's pretty much come to an end now. So I think that was like the 4th tornado of the day so far, and it's only at 12 p.m. So, I mean, we've been dealing with already some pretty volatile conditions out there. Let's see. It seemed like it was at its largest there in between Arcadia and DeBach. Then it kind of took a southerly turn and really weakened there between 12:01 and 12:07. Pretty much came to an end. All right, we'll go back to our reflectivity. Just take a kind of like more zoomed out look. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning here way over here in Mississippi, so we'll switch over to this near Columbus. We'll take a look at what that is. This could potentially be supercells heading out in front of this. That would be really bad. Yeah, we do have some pretty bad storms trying to develop for these regions. I didn't notice that. This one doesn't look like a supercell or anything, so this could really eat up the potential. Somebody said there's 5 confirmed tornadoes today. All right. All of these seem to be multicellular. We could see some spin-ups just because of the way the atmosphere is right now, but really we're going to see these ones move in underneath this warm front coming up. We're just seeing thunderstorms develop along the warm front. We're going to see this area that's in Louisiana right now move in mostly through Mississippi, and that's when this is going to be really becoming a more dangerous situation by that point. Let's move back to where our tornado warnings are. Apparently there's an observed tornado around Ashland, but that might be kind of outdated. We'll take a look, though, however. Yeah, I don't know if there is. Doesn't look like there would be, but we will make sure. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much rotation in here. So this is probably earlier. Yeah, it expires in a few minutes. So it was issued like 30 minutes ago, so this one's kind of old. But this was probably for this area of rotation right here earlier, near Quitman now. We're going to keep a close eye on this one because it looks like a pretty intense area with rotation, so we're going to continue to watch this. Let's see. As we're getting a new frame, I'm not seeing any active. Whoa there. Whoa there. Okay, I don't know what that was. That was like a Category 10 hurricane or something. I don't know. Alright, we're getting a new scan that just came in. Sweet. So this one's kind of bowing out, and the interesting thing here is I'm seeing some areas that potentially look kind of concerning, obviously. In there, in this little pocket, not liking the look of that one. We could see some sort of tornado activity there. We're still seeing a tornado warning here. There's some pretty tight rotation. We'll need to watch it. But pretty much 2 main areas of rotation. This is WSV3. Somebody asked what radar this is. We're looking at Louisiana right now. This is near Ruston, DeBach, Chatham. This is where we're seeing most of the tornado warnings currently. Let's switch to our rotation. We're going to take a look. And again, 2 main areas. I'm going to watch the correlation coefficient on this one. It's still kind of there. This could come back in a hurry, guys. This one heading towards Downsville. So we're going to watch this one very closely. Yeah, so I'm seeing where there is the potential still that there's rotation in there and possibly some very, very slight damage. It's very, very hard to say. They still have a tornado warning up for here, and I don't really know why. I guess they're just waiting for it to expire, but really, there's not even anything that looks too tornadic there. I'll take another look here at our rotation, and sure enough, not really anything. I don't know why that one's still up. Let's see. We do have a lot of rotation here. Like I was saying, there's two main pockets that I'm seeing here and then here. Somebody said there's not enough sun to basically help the storms develop. I definitely disagree. If we look at our surface cape here, this is going to rapidly intensify, but we're already dealing with areas with sufficient cape here, 1500 cape. If you already have the cape in the high temperatures, you don't need the sun anymore. And I don't think they were ever expecting it to be too sunny here. That's why there's no high risk. That's what I've been talking about this entire time. I think what's going to happen here, guys, if I put the fronts... Actually, the fronts are on screen, but really we're dealing with... we're dealing with a front, some sort of warm front through this region that's heading north, and that's really developing rain along it. As that moves north, we're going to see less convection to the south here, and that's going to move up out of the way, and then we're going to see our storms head from west to east through the area that's been cleared. Let's look at those current temperatures, however. We'll take a look. Can I get that on here? No. I'll just take a look here. This is going to give us actually some on-screen numbers. Okay, so it's not loading up. No idea why. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we're already dealing with 60s, 70s throughout here. It's definitely sufficient. I'm thinking right on pace for a moderate risk. We're going to see pretty scattered severe weather, but it's also going to be intense in some of the areas where we see it. I definitely think a moderate risk was warranted today. I never thought today would be a high risk. So this is really on pace to pretty much be what was expected. It's all the people that thought that there would be a high risk today and this was going to be some sort of, like, that's the people that are saying this is going to be an underperforming event, but nobody was expecting a high risk except for you folks. We're really dealing with a situation. I saw somebody comment a while back. Honestly, a lot of you guys are saying that the chance for Illinois, the moderate risk we had back there, wasn't warranted. We saw multiple tornadoes within that moderate risk. And I think it was completely warranted based on the environmental situations. Just because there wasn't, 3 EF3 tornadoes doesn't mean that there wasn't a moderate risk. A moderate risk wasn't warranted. And just like today, we're not expecting just weak spin-up tornadoes. We actually are expecting a high chance for EF10, or not EF10, a 10% chance for EF2s to EF5 tornadoes. So Fountain Place, can somebody ban Fountain Place from the stream? I'm not going to deal with misinformation. The National Weather Service has put a particularly dangerous situation on this watch and also has a hatched area for EF2s to EF5s. So we're going to take this situation very seriously. Currently, though, we don't have any active tornadoes, thankfully. So we're going to switch back to our base reflectivity here. This tornado warning I think is outdated, so really we don't need to pay too much attention to that. But we do. Okay, so we're not responding again. We're gonna need to reload the program real quick. It does this every once in a while, so. Let's see. I'm reading through the comments real quick. My clock is wrong because it's showing us when the last frame came in, not the actual time. So the clock is always going to show when the radar is up to date too. I think that's why it showed it wasn't the right time. Yeah, okay, so that one was outdated. It went away now. Let's go ahead and turn. Okay, we have that off. Good. All right, we're back in business. It's got to load up everything, but we are seeing one tornado warning. Still radar indicated. We're earlier on in the day. We weren't supposed to be seeing really a lot of the tornado activity yet. Mostly, we're looking at this area as the biggest threat for tornadoes, and we're about to see in the next hour or two, that's when we're really going to be dealing with most of our tornado activity within our particularly dangerous situation. I-20 in Louisiana. Oh my goodness, it's not responding again. Okay, that's annoying. So we're seeing Benjamin Bruner, major damage on I-20 in Louisiana. When was that? Was that earlier or is that like more recently? All right, so hopefully it actually loads in this time. Not going to do anything too drastic. Just be gentle with the program here. We're looking at WSV3. That's the program I always use for these. Yeah, RB26 does everything. Said he likes the screensaver. I was thinking about selling those for a while because people loved them so much, but I haven't gotten to that, like setting up like an online store. It's like $1 or something. Maybe I could even do a what are those? What is that thing called? Patreon. Can't you like sell products on there too? Like if people are subscribed to the Patreon, they can get stuff. I don't know if that's how that works at all. I've never even looked into it, but I thought that's kind of how it works. Like you can like give merch out to people and stuff. Uh, let's take a look at our rotation within this cell because this is our only tornado warning right now. So we're going to have to really focus in on this one. Okay, so we do have an area of rotation near Downsville, Louisiana. Okay, so I'm not seeing any damage, thankfully, yet. It's still radar indicated, so that makes sense. Rocco 135. I'm going to be streaming probably till through about 2:30 that time frame. I do have Easter plans later on. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be streaming all day. Not that my throat would even be able to do that anyway. We all know that I can't really do that. That usually doesn't happen for me. Usually 3 hours is like my max. I'm already on like 1 hour, so yeah. Through the early afternoon, unfortunately, but I might leave the radar on screen and just let it stream throughout the day. If you guys prefer that, do you guys prefer me to just end the stream, or do you want me to just keep the radar on screen once I end it? I know people like to interact on here. All right, so we are seeing a little less. Okay, guys, you guys really got to cut it out with the political stuff because the chat is being like flooded with non-weather related stuff. Xander, I'm just spending time with some family, so a small gathering, obviously, so nothing against the rules. Keep it going. Okay, so you guys, major opinion's very clear. You want to keep it. You want me to keep it going, so I will. You know, this rotation's pretty broad, so right now we're not really seeing an area that's too concerning yet. I also think this tornado or this area of rotation could potentially warrant a tornado warning here in the coming minutes or hour or so. Once they move into this area, we're going to start to see a little bit more activity. So it's only going to keep progressing as we move on. Ooh, we're getting a lot of comments. I'm trying to... Guys, seriously, let's keep it weather related. We're going to go to slow mode if we don't, because it's going crazy right now. Let's zoom back in. So this line of storms seems to be our worst right now. Also, these storms developing down here are a little bit concerning. So these could potentially become those discrete supercells I was talking about. These ones are going to be more of the embedded. That's what we've been dealing with here. Let me take a look at the comments. So you guys definitely want me to keep streaming after I'm not able to be here on the radar. So I'm just going to have it like zoomed out like this. So it'll play through our main regions throughout the day later on. So I will do that later for you guys once I'm not able to be here. Rest assured. Let's see. Does NOLA stand for Northern Louisiana? If that's the case, then yes, we are currently getting hit. Vasily, why would you want me to shut the stream down? That doesn't even make sense. Let's see. I don't understand. I don't understand what Vasily was saying at all. Right now, there's not much activity going on in Kentucky yet, so that's why I'm not going to do that. We're not going to take a look at areas that aren't expecting imminent severe weather. Let's see. Trying to read through some of these comments. They're coming in so quickly. Because we only have one tornado warning right now. Virginia. Well, I talked about Virginia earlier. I'm expecting that central and eastern Virginia will have a pretty slight to enhanced severe weather risk. Nothing like it's going to be today. But there is a very unique situation tomorrow because it's kind of like the winds are very, very unique for a severe weather threat. Usually we don't see those strong of winds combined with severe weather threats, and that's going to lead to a pretty rare type of severe weather event, I believe. Possible spin-up tornadoes, also embedded supercells, and maybe even larger tornadoes than what's typically expected for North Carolina and Virginia. Going to be interesting. Oh, NOLA stands for New Orleans. I don't think there's as much of a risk down there at all. Gatlinburg, Tennessee, I mean, the mountains might protect you a little bit, but there is a slight risk for severe weather for you guys today. Baltimore might be impacted tomorrow, so Monday morning through afternoon. All right. I'm trying to read the comments right now, guys. It is coming in rapid fire. Let's take a look at our rotation once again. Still, this is pretty broad. Not looking like... It's not really looking like very tight rotation like you would normally see in a very damaging imminent tornado threat. So we're still just watching this radar indicated threat. Really nothing confirmed yet. There's been 5 tornadoes so far today, infamous. So it's already been a pretty active day. We're not even into our moderate risk area. The enhanced, I would say this area could have had a moderate risk back here just because of the fact that we've seen so much severe weather there so far. So things already seem pretty volatile, I'd say. We're looking in Louisiana. Does anybody have any questions as far as today? I can answer those today through tomorrow. As far as like timing, I'm not going to tell you guys like, oh, what's the winds going to be like? And I mean, I can answer that, but I'm not going to go take a look because that's just not as imminent as our tornado threat here that we're dealing with. That's mostly what I want to stay on topic with. Maxim, you must think there's not going to be a lot more activity because we already have 5. So are you saying total or from this point on? Invisible Badger said, what is the probability for the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham area to see tornadoes today? Quite high, actually. Quite high. I would say that's probably one of the biggest chance areas. I would say maybe central Mississippi is probably the highest chance region in my opinion, but I think central Alabama as well could get in on a lot of that. So I'm pretty high. Not gonna lie. How often does the radar update? Usually like every 6 minutes or something like that. Significant tornadoes are possible today for sure. Jimmy S., any tornado day like we have today could always bring an EF5 tornado. It's always possible. They're just so elusive and rare that it's impossible to say like, oh, I think there will be or I think there won't be. It's always possible. Yeah, Jackson, Mississippi. I think generally I would say before 9 p.m. because that's when our tornado watch expires, is at 9 p.m. So we're thinking sometime in the afternoon to evening time. I would say late afternoon, early evening, maybe through dinner time is probably when Jackson's expecting these storms to start coming in. Somebody donated $5 and I didn't see it yet, so I want to go down and check that. Shadow of the Wolf donated $5. Thank you for the donation. Somebody said, I have a pretty quick question. Does Atlanta have a pretty decent chance for tornadoes today? And the answer is yes. There is a pretty decent chance that we could be looking at tornadoes head into Georgia. So that's going to be late tonight, though. So please be on the lookout. Keep some sort of phone. I don't know how you would keep track of if there's a tornado warning or not, but try to find a way to make sure that if there is a tornado warning, you will see. You'll be aware overnight because it's going to be definitely in the middle of the night. Let's see. Wind gusts for Ohio tonight. Well, we're going to be looking at gusty winds for all along the eastern United States. I would say generally probably in between 30 and 50 miles per hour as far as gusts for pretty much the whole eastern half of the United States tonight into tomorrow. So no, I think we have a moderate risk. I think for tornadoes, there was never really high risk for tornadoes. Somebody asked if I think we have less chance for tornadoes now because of what's happened. There was never a super high risk. They only used our 15% chance region here. I think that's completely warranted. So I think they did a really good job from what I'm seeing so far with the 15% chance area here, which is in our orange area. Very, very warranted. Because it can go a lot higher than that. And I think they were able to key in on the fact that we were going to have some storms ahead of our main storms that were really going to weaken things a little bit. That's why we only have a moderate risk. So I think definitely warranted. I think they did a great job as far as their outlook, and I completely agree with it to this point. I think I'm seeing some rotation here that looks quite concerning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at try to get to our reflectivity here. And then our correlation coefficient. We don't have any damage being picked up on radar right now. A lot of people asking about their regions. I can't answer all of those questions. It's coming in too fast. Vasily donated $10. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. New SPC outlook now. Yeah, I didn't expect this would ever be a high risk. Oh, we did get a tornado warning right here where I was talking about. So, this area I was just looking at. Let's see. Again, let's eyeball that area where we're seeing the most rotation, and I could try to pinpoint where this is going to head. What is this? Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm thinking there's two areas of rotation, but this one mostly. So once again, no damage, but this is heading right for Monroe there in Louisiana. So we're going to need to watch this one very closely because this could rapidly become an active tornado situation. So we're going to watch this very closely. This is heading straight for Monroe and then Swartz. So we're going to watch this closely. This one would be headed towards Bastrop as well. So that's if it lasts that long. If you want to become a moderator, you have to really just keep active in the stream and be helpful, and I'll eventually just pick you. That's usually what I do for people I see in multiple streams. So, once again, I'm going to turn on live scan because it's been off this whole time. This is definitely looking pretty dangerous. More than likely, they will not upgrade to a high risk. I believe you're correct because, look, that's what I've been saying this whole time. There's not... In a high-risk situation, they look for perfect severe weather conditions. Like, literally no flaws and nothing holding it back from being widespread, all-out severe weather with significant impacts. And this one does have some things that are holding it back a bit, and that's why we're not in a high risk. We're in a moderate risk. Let's go ahead and switch back to our correlation coefficient. We still aren't picking up any damage, which is good news. We're going to just take it frame by frame and just make sure we don't get any of that. Oh, okay, so wait a second. We have very strong rotation here, guys, near Monroe. This is not looking good. We are seeing very, very tight rotation. No damage yet, but this one looks like it could be imminent for Monroe, West Monroe. So please take cover if you are there. This looks like a potential tornado that's about to touch down. We're going to watch our correlation coefficient closely because this one can rapidly touch down and start causing damage, especially in a high population area like this. Again, let's switch back to our velocity. Where was Richwood? Is that this? Where's Richwood at, guys? Here's our tornado reports, by the way, from earlier. 2 just came in for Louisiana. Which one is Richwood? Is it this one? This reminds me a lot of the one we had up in Jonesboro. Just the look of this one. Very tight rotation that rapidly occurred. We're about to see a tornado likely touchdown for this area of rotation. 50,000 people. So this is not good, guys. We might see a debris ball here in a second on our next radar update. Please take cover if you are here. Because this is not looking good. Definitely. Okay, we're getting our next frame here. Let's see where we're at. Yes, okay, we have a tornado, guys. This is looking like we're seeing a debris ball now. So this is rapidly becoming a very serious situation. There's your rotation for Monroe. Actually, we need another frame to come in for the velocity. But I can confirm that this does look like there is an active tornado. And we will, even though it looks quite... on edge, you could take it either way. We're going to go ahead and side with safety. And that would say take cover. There's a very high chance that there's a tornado actively right here. It does definitely appear that way. I haven't seen the confirmed tornado come in, but I'm going to treat this one like it is a confirmed tornado just to be safe. But again, likely this one is on the ground currently. And I would expect that we're going to see a confirmed tornado report come in right now. There is no strong debris ball, but we were seeing some weaker ones. This is probably a weaker tornado at this point, but this is probably rapidly going to intensify based on our very, very strong rotation being picked up right here. Very tight rotation as well. Definitely, when you see that tight rotation come in and then you see a little bit of more greens and lower percentages come in, that tells me we're probably in the beginning of a tornado process. Obviously this isn't like I said, this isn't 100% on the ground, but we're going to treat it like that because there is the signature of very strong rotation, possible damage being picked up, smaller damage. So we're going to treat it like there's a tornado in Monroe currently. Take cover right now, like he just said. Yes, Monroe, Louisiana. We're dealing with a potential tornado situation currently. Confirmed tornado in Monroe. Okay, so I was right about that one, if that's the case. The debris ball, like we've seen people chat in the chat say, this isn't a very strong debris ball yet. We're getting a new one coming in right now, so we'll see our new radar scan. But this looks like some weak damage potentially, and we're gonna see probably some blues show up here momentarily, I would guess. Yeah, so we are seeing a weaker tornado signature, but those greens are definitely indicating an area. Yeah, okay, confirmed tornado on the ground. Oh, particularly dangerous situation. Okay, so we do have a large tornado potentially in this area. Even though the debris ball doesn't look great, I guess we are dealing with a particularly dangerous tornado situation right now, so we're going to treat it as such. There is a strong area of rotation right there, and we were seeing some weaker debris possible. A large and extremely dangerous tornado. Okay, so we do have a large tornado here right now. Very, very interesting to see the correlation coefficient not really show up with anything too strong here. Interesting stuff, but we definitely did have a tornado pass just south of Monroe right there. Thankfully, it didn't hit directly downtown, but south of Monroe, we definitely did see that pass through probably a moderately populated area. So unfortunately, that was a very fast evolving situation. We just saw this tornado quickly develop. It's moving at 45 miles per hour, so already that is very dangerous. But we're tracking this tornado. Schwartz is next. We're going to be watching because this tornado probably is going to be headed towards there. We're seeing this tornado. Okay, I had the whole wrong one the whole time. Oh, okay, so we just had a tornado develop a second one near Sterlington. So this one, I am seeing that this was probably a tornado here. But this one definitely is a dangerous situation because this one developed quickly. Look, watch, it just pops up right there. We're going to watch this one come in. Definitely dealing with a tornado down here too. Guys, this one's showing up with some blues, so we definitely have a tornado here. And then a very large tornado here, south of Sterlington, heading right towards Bastrop. That one developed so fast I couldn't even see it coming. But we have two, what I would say is definitely confirmed tornadoes right now. Okay, Zach, Ryan, so both of these are confirmed. You're saying the southern one and then also the one to the north are confirmed. Can anybody confirm that both of these are confirmed tornadoes right now? Are both on the ground? It appears that this one definitely is just to the east of Monroe. Smaller tornado here. This one looks very, very large and damaging. Let's take a look at that rotation once again. Yeah, very tight rotation here as well. We definitely have two tornadoes then confirmed. This one's rotation isn't looking as tight, so hopefully we'll see this one come to an end quickly. Yeah, it is a bad idea to guess the rating of the tornadoes because it's based on damage, so it's pointless to say EF whatever. Both tornadoes are confirmed on the ground, guys. We have two tornadoes, one there from Monroe, Louisiana, and then one to the north that is south of Sterlington, Louisiana. We have two different tornadoes on the ground. One is a particularly dangerous situation. Oh, we have a tornado emergency, I think, here. I think that's what this is indicating. out. And this was for the Monroe one. We have a tornado emergency, I think, here. Threat catastrophic. We have tornado damage threat catastrophic here, guys. Very large tornado here. Tornado emergencies are not very common, guys. We have a very large, damaging, catastrophic tornado here. It's saying the damage could potentially be catastrophic. Please take cover if you're anywhere within this or anywhere in its path. Wow. 2 tornadoes right next to each other. Very dangerous situation here, guys. I'm expecting we're going to see this one really rapidly turn blue here and look like a much larger debris ball. Yes, we did. So here we go. This one probably, I'm just going out on a limb here. I think probably what happened is we saw significant damage for Monroe come in, and that's what warranted the tornado emergency. We probably just saw significant damage for Monroe. Can anybody let me know? Search up what's going on in Monroe. Please find out on Twitter and try to keep us up to date in the chat. If anybody does that, that would be extremely helpful. We have this one to the north as well, but it looks like our southern one is more intense than the northern one at this point. But we still have one to the south of Sterling heading towards Collinston and Bastrop. Also, this one just to the east of Monroe is intensifying rapidly to the south of Swartz. This one is looking like a very, very dangerous situation. Again, tornado emergency warning here, which is indicated by this pink area. Those are not very common. We only see these reserved for very dangerous tornado situations. And the damage threat for this tornado is considered catastrophic from the National Weather Service. Obviously, very, very intense wordage there from them, indicating this is a very dangerous situation. Can anybody try to please search up the hashtag Monroe in Twitter or something? Try to find out if there's damage. We see 2 different tornadoes here right now. Okay, somebody said for the Monroe tornado, which is the southern one, somebody said a confirmed large and destructive tornado was located over Monroe. So that means it did hit Monroe. I'm guessing a lot of damage definitely came through there. This is a particularly dangerous situation, like everybody's saying, so please take cover if you're anywhere in the path of either of these tornadoes. This one is considered to be catastrophic as far as the damage. Yeah, if this one hits Swartz, I'm hearing there's a lot of mobile homes and smaller homes. That's what somebody's saying in the chat. If that's the case, that's also probably has a lot to do with why this is a tornado emergency. Hopefully we do not see this debris ball move over Swartz. Hopefully we see it move to the south. Thankfully, it looks like it's a little bit to the south, but please take cover if you're in Swartz. We also see the one to the north heading directly for Collinston. Take cover if you're in either of these tornadoes or in their path. This is a very dangerous situation. And I think the National Weather Service, I got to give them a ton of credit here. This is right in their particularly dangerous tornado watch. These just started to intensify. That was one of the best tornado watch locations I've ever seen in my life. It literally intensified right as they headed into the tornado watch there. We're seeing this one move just to the south of Swartz. This one's going to be moving towards Oak Ridge. Can anybody get information on what Oak Ridge, Louisiana is like? We just saw a catastrophic tornado move through these areas. Also, there's another one to the north with the damage threat being considerable heading towards Collinston. A little bit less of a damaging tornado here, but both are on the ground and very, very dangerous. Take cover if you're in any of these tornado warnings. Let me switch to normal radar here. So we can see we have one here and then one here. And you can see where our tornado warning extends to. So if you're in Oak Ridge, Epps, Forest, all of this is Louisiana, by the way, Bastrop, Collinston, any of these areas, please take cover if you're in this tornado warning. 2 confirmed tornadoes within these tornado warnings. Very, very dangerous situation here. Please take it very seriously, as this is a very dangerous situation already taking place here. Let's go ahead and move back to our correlation coefficient, where we can kind of get a very, very clear view of where our damage is. We have 2 tornadoes on the ground. One up here that is headed towards Collinston, and it's to the southeast of Sterlington. And then we also have one to the east of Monroe heading towards Oak Ridge. It's just underneath Swartz. Please take cover. 2 large damaging tornadoes in very close proximity here. We're going to see another update here where we're going to get a updated radar scan. These are 2 very large tornadoes, unfortunately. Okay, we saw this one move. Here we're seeing blue still. This one's going to maybe head towards Collinston. And then we see this one weakened a little bit, and it's to the east of Swartz, but it is heading towards Oak Ridge. Two very, very dangerous tornadoes here. Let's see. North Monroe, police reported damage. All right, thank you for that information. That's very helpful, obviously, for the stream. Oak Ridge looks like a small rural town. That's probably bad news for them. Yes, we're seeing 2 large debris areas here and here, indicating areas with 2 larger tornadoes that are on the larger and more damaging side. We even have a tornado emergency located in this purple region. It's a particularly dangerous situation. There was a large catastrophic tornado. Probably there was catastrophic damage in Monroe. We called this one before it was even touched down. Thankfully, we've been able to keep you guys up to date before this was even a tornado. We were able to predict that there would probably be a tornado from Monroe, and sure enough, that happened, unfortunately. But I'm just glad we were able to keep you guys very, very up to date with that information. Hopefully, if any of you were from Monroe, you were able to take cover. Let's see. We're going to see a new update come in just a second. All right, so we have one. We're getting far away from the site, so it's hard to see, but there is one heading towards Collinston here. It looks like it's weakened a little bit. We'll see what happens with that. And then we have another one here that is heading towards Oak Ridge. And that was our tornado emergency, our particularly dangerous situation there. Let's see. Somebody said a new tornado warning. Let me switch. It's hard to see on this. Yeah, it looks like we have one large tornado warning for both of these cells. We have 2 confirmed tornadoes that have just head into our new tornado warning. The tornado emergency expires at 1:15 p.m. Even though the tornado has headed out of the area for our tornado emergency, we are still dealing with, obviously, the aftermath. So I think that's why they leave those there kind of a long time. Yeah, keep me up to date with what happens with Reed Timmer heading into the area. We'd love to hear the updates just to know what's going on there on the ground. Yeah, keep your phones charged. That's always a good idea ahead of any situation that could lead to power outage. I always do that in hurricanes, anything like that, blizzards. We see to the east of Collinston, we had a very large tornado that came through, and it's gonna head towards Bastrop, Rouge, Collinston. Here's our tornado for Monroe, where we had a tornado emergency pop up. You can see it kind of showed up for South Monroe and then headed in a generally eastward direction. It's heading towards Oak Ridge as well now at this point. We see this one heading towards Collinston and Bastrop, maybe in between. We'll have to see. Yes, it looks to be re-intensifying this northern one, guys. It's looking a little worse here again. And it's heading towards Bastrop. I think this one's a large tornado still, large damaging tornado. Yeah, we have the Collinston tornado still on the ground, somebody said. Let's see. Who said that? Terran Ghost, can you confirm that you said this tornado is still on the ground? We're also seeing this one heading towards Oak Ridge. We're still picking up some damage. So I'm guessing at this point we have still a tornado heading towards Oak Ridge, or maybe just to the south of Oak Ridge. It's going to be Oak Ridge, Louisiana. Oak Ridge, Louisiana. Bastrop is 11,000 people. So we have another larger town in this one's path, unfortunately. And this looks like a large damaging tornado as well. We're going to watch it very, very closely here. But definitely a dangerous, dangerous situation taking place either way. Okay, both tornadoes are still on the ground. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like. So we still have that observed tornado. It's hard to see on the correlation coefficient. We have one warning. It's observed. And then we have these two back here that are still up. But our tornado emergency has expired. We did have one earlier for the southern tornado. Major tornado damage reported in Monroe, Louisiana. That is very unfortunate to hear. But that's what we pretty much expected here, based on what we saw on radar. It looks like the southern one is kind of weakened, fortunately. It looks like we're having minimal damage here at this point for Oak Ridge. Not seeing much of a debris ball there. But near Bastrop and Collinston, right in between, we are dealing with an area where we are still seeing a significant area with some debris being picked up on radar, again, in between Collinston and Bastrop. Please take cover if you're in either of these areas. Again, the southern tornado looks to have minimal debris, but still take cover if you're anywhere in this tornado warning until it expires. That is always the way to go and the safest way to go, so that's what I'm going to highly recommend all of you do. But I will keep you up to date with what I'm thinking as far as each tornado at all times. This one is looking more and more intense at the north. Yeah, there's definitely active tornadoes right now, and we're doing more of a nowcast type situation. Is there active damage pictures? I'm going to search up on my own here. Actually, you know what we should do? This is what we should do. We're going to keep that up there, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to Twitter. We're actually going to go to Twitter right now. And we're going to search it up ourselves. Let's just do Monroe and see what happens. I want to see if we can get anything to pop up here. Oh, this is the tornado from Monroe, guys. We're getting pictures. That looks like a large wedge tornado. Wow. Okay, there it is. That's our lower tornado. Let's see if we can get anything else. Wow, this was the storm, guys. That looks nasty. Wow. And this one dropped a tornado. Look at all the people out there. Unfortunately, it looks like there's a lot of people out on the streets. Hopefully, everybody was able to take cover. 4 minutes. I want pictures. Let's see if there is any. It's a little soon. Usually these things take time to come out. Let's see if we got any updated radar. Okay, so let's see. I just want to make sure we're up to date with all this as well. Yeah, so it looks like we still have some debris there in between Bastrop and Collinston, so keep in cover until the tornado warning ends. We're going to keep trying to look for any sort of... I'm just going to do hashtag tornado in a minute. Okay, that's what we'll do, actually. Here it is. So there's only one picture of it. I know this is a current picture because a storm chaser just posted it. I think it's a storm chaser. It said tornado on the ground just west of Monroe, and it was posted 3 minutes ago. So that's how I know. Oh, actually, no. I think it is actually a past photo. Somebody just posted down here. So I think it's fake. Okay. Well. It looks like we just got faked out, maybe. But we do know there was a large tornado. We're going to need to wait a while, probably, to get, like, actual pictures from this tornado, it appears. Later today, we will. So that picture was fake. That's why you can't trust Twitter, guys. Even though I just tried to trust Twitter, and it didn't really work out for me. So we still have a confirmed, or an observed tornado. Even though this one is really has no debris, the southern one here. Yeah, I think Monroe is going to come in with significant damage. We're going to need to look at that later on. Bastrop, we're seeing some potential debris signatures there. I don't have Snapchat, so I can't really check to see if there is anything on Snapchat. So we're pretty much at a point where we're not really able to see. We're kind of in a radar hole, I guess. We're very far away from this radar. Also, there is none very close to here. I think maybe if we switch to the Jackson one, we'll get a better view. We're just going to check. Xander, is there actually things on tornado or on Instagram for me to see for the tornado? I can go to Instagram, but only if people can confirm there's actually going to be pictures from this event there. I'm still seeing some rotation here. Some up here as well. So we're going to watch it very, very closely. Maybe even some down here. And we've seen how rapidly these tornadoes can develop with this system. So we're going to watch it very, very closely. Oh, video just posted to Twitter? Okay. What should I put in the hashtag? Tornado or Monroe? Or what did you put in to find it, I guess? Oh, here it is, here it is. Wait, no, that's not it. Why would Reed Timmer post that if that's from 2019? That's not it. So, I don't think it's there. Yeah, that's definitely not it. So, there isn't a video that I can find. Why does everybody keep saying that if it's from June 15th, 2019? Everybody keeps falling for this, but it's from 2019. Oh, okay, so somebody just tweeted, any tornado near Monroe or northeast Louisiana is likely rain wrapped, therefore hard to get video or pictures of. Beware of false images. It doesn't seem like we're really going to get anything much. Somebody said to mute somebody, but I can't find them. So we're going to watch these closely. We can see these tornadoes today have rapidly intensified when they pop up, almost like too fast to even track at times. Rain wrap means there's rain around it to where you can't even visibly see the tornado because there's rain in the way. Let's try to keep an eye on... I don't even know if we really have any tornadoes on the ground right now anymore. Can anybody confirm if we still do or if they're all gone? Noah Finn, if you want to go to my Facebook page, Direct Weather, you can comment on any of those posts with pictures and videos, and I'll go to that. Or you can tweet it to me at Prime Patriots. I'll put that on screen right now because I would really appreciate that, actually. How do I get to my account? Is this how I do it? Here we go. Prime Patriots. Actually, I can put that in the chat for you. That would be the easiest way since I'm already on Twitter. So I just put it in the chat. Should be down there. Rouge. Oh, we have one in Mississippi. Yeah, it does look like we actually have an area of debris still near there, so... Do we still have one down here too? Guys, I'm getting rapid followers on Twitter like every second. So many of you just followed me on Twitter. But yeah, at them to me and I'll go look in a second. Okay. That's some information from the police. Let's see if we get any pictures. Devastating damage in Monroe. That's pretty much what we were ultimately expecting there. Thank you for tagging me in these guys. It's really, really helpful. If anybody can get pictures of damage, be sure to hit me up there. And that's going to be a good place for me to be able to show it to the stream. I appreciate that. That really helps a lot, actually. I'll put my Twitter on again because somebody just asked again. At Prime Patriots, I'm going to type that in again. I'm going to be more active on Twitter anyway, so I tweet pretty much every day. There would still be images of damage because you can take pictures of damage, you just can't see the tornado itself. We had a tornado emergency in Monroe, so I'm going to lean with actually that it being reported as destroyed would be more realistic to just minor damage. I'm going to go with major damage, possibly even whole houses flattened, based on just the wordage from the National Weather Service. They don't throw out tornado emergencies like they're nothing, you know? Let's see if I got tagged in anything more. Yeah, I think this one was the fake one. Let's see. Getting some more tweets. A neighborhood is completely destroyed. That's what I'm hearing. So it's around here. This area looks like smaller homes, so I would say the damage probably came in. Siri thinks I'm talking to her right now. I don't know why Siri always thinks that. But yeah, very small houses there. Probably helped it be more damaging for that region just because the actual size of the houses. Let's see if this one. Let's just start warning. All right, we'll keep ourselves updated on all that. I want to see where our tornado warning is currently located. Right here. All right. It looks like there's one area of tight rotation right here. Well, not super tight, but yeah, enough. And also up here to the north, there might be a bit of rotation as well, as our storms are heading towards Mississippi. So we're going to watch this very, very closely. I would guess a lot of downed trees. This is a dangerous situation also because this is more wooded areas than we're usually used to in the Great Plains, where there's usually more tornado activity. That's why these ones can be especially dangerous. All right, we just got our tornado warning extended here, so we're going to see this continue all the way into Mississippi. And these are still observed, so we definitely do still have tornadoes on the ground, it appears. Let's go ahead and try to pinpoint where these confirmed tornadoes are at. We're going to have to watch this very, very closely. This is WSV3. So if you search that up, it's a pretty good radar program. It's actually one of the best on the market right now. So it's kind of in its earlier stages of development. So there's going to be frequent updates for this app. Somebody said, what about Charlotte? Well, that's not going to be happening much until probably very late tonight or tomorrow. So just be on the lookout. These things can really evolve and look different from day to day. So the update is damage at Cherry Blossom in Goldendale and Parkland, which is just outside of Monroe. Entire neighborhood is destroyed per local officials, still assessing damage in Monroe. So that is actually official reports at this point, that there is completely flattened neighborhoods that are absolutely destroyed. Just absolutely devastating there. I'm not surprised there's a tornado emergency. It seems like the National Weather Service definitely saw something that thinks this was a very dangerous situation. Somebody said, how is the whole neighborhood destroyed? Well, because it was probably a major tornado on the upper end of the EF scale. I don't like to estimate that, but based on everything we saw, that was a stronger, larger tornado. So that's probably why these tornadoes are very capable of completely destroying homes and lives, and it's very, very scary what they can do. We were expecting the chance for major tornadoes today. It looks like we already had at least one, probably two. Where did you say that tornado was located near? I'll try to check. Was located near Goodwill. Where's Goodwill? I guess it's somewhere in here. What I'm going to go ahead and do is switch back to Twitter because I'm hearing more people tagged me in some stuff. Oh yeah, this was Arcadia. Oh, there's the damage, guys. From Arcadia. Remember, Arcadia was kind of before... Or where was Arcadia? Let's go take a look. That was something happening earlier, right? That was over here. Where was that? I completely forgot where Arcadia was. That was one of these tornadoes, I know that. Was that our more northern one? Gosh, I can't find it. I know it was one of those two, right? But... it looks like it definitely downed trees. And again, that's the dangerous thing about these types of storms. It's a dangerous thing about these storms because it really prohibits people from traveling and trying to help after a certain point. Multiple gas leaks being reported. Let's see if this is legit.
It's all the way down there at the other.
I'm just gonna mute it. This looks like maybe not a directly hit area. Oh, okay, so we do have some damage in this neighborhood. I don't know exactly where this is located, but it looks like this is somewhere that didn't get hit directly by it. It looks like this is somewhere very close, though, however. So they're already, we can see roofs are damaged at least. So let me check the description, see if we can't see an exact location on this. I'm not seeing much as far as where this is, so we're not gonna go any further. Let me get Twitter back up. Let's see what this is. North of Rayville. Okay, that's where our tornado is. Okay, so it is somewhere in here. It is still observed, so we are dealing with an active tornado still. Let's take a look, try to find where this rotation is located. Yeah, here it is, here it is, here it is. This has got to be where the tornado would be located. Some pretty broad damage possibly near Epps and Pioneer, but we'll see. These have been evolving quickly, like I said before, during this event so far. Somebody said a hook echo near Shreveport or whatever it's called. Hey Douglas, what's going on, man? Oh yeah, this looks like the beginning of a potential supercell, which is weird because it's actually behind our main area of concern. That just shows you how much instability there is, that these storms can come through and still stuff can develop behind it. Guys, the people keep saying that they're being over dramatic about the damage. Please don't say things like that, because if you're wrong, you're going to feel bad. Monroe had a tornado emergency issued for them from the National Weather Service. So there was definitely a significant tornado and significant damage, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if the house was flattened or if half the house was gone, or, it doesn't matter. We know there was major damage, and it doesn't make any sense to speculate beyond that. We know there's a tornado emergency for a reason, and it was a major, major tornado with major damage. That's all that matters. If you feel inclined to donate, I haven't said anything in a long time about that, or if you feel inclined to help the stream, you can either donate using the bottom right-hand corner. That's the super chat, if you feel inclined to do that. But also, another way you can really help the stream is by liking the stream. That helps it share to more people. Obviously, we want to get the word out there about this dangerous, dangerous tornado situation that's going to be occurring today. Yes, Douglas, I just upgraded Readied into Moderator. Congratulations, you've been really helpful on the stream. I do agree with Douglas that you deserve to be a mod because you've been helpful for multiple streams. Not only that, but very, very active. So welcome to the moderating crew for Direct Weather. Happy to have you. Keep up the great work. Andrew Coate donated $4. Thank you so much. He said keep up the great work, or the good work. I appreciate it a lot. Let's see. Trying to keep track of the comments. Yeah, definitely keep the political comments to a minimal. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's try to go back, see if we don't have any updated new information coming in. Let's see here. Oh, this is the same video I saw earlier. Yep, we're expecting some pretty dangerous tornadoes to come through this area, which is where we're looking at kind of right now. Strong tornado potential increasing across northeastern Louisiana into central Mississippi early this afternoon. We're going to be here during all of that here. I'm probably going to be streaming another hour or so. Obviously, like I said, I have plans later on. Fran Danian Mapping donated $2. I think I found tornado images in Monroe. Thank you so much. You can always tag those to me on Twitter. I'll put in my Twitter again just in case you didn't see that. But tag me in anything that has to do with this tornado, guys. I'm going to be looking at that pretty actively here. Also, I gave you guys, if you want to follow that, I always update when I'm going to be streaming on that as well. So if you ever don't want to miss a stream, that's a good way to keep track of it. Oh, somebody liked my tweet there. All right. This was an old video from Jonesboro. I don't know why somebody just tagged me in that. That was the one in Arkansas a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to get too off topic, but somebody asked what is any new thoughts, if there's any new thoughts on hurricanes. I think it's going to be a big hurricane year. There's no new thoughts beyond that. I've always felt that way. Just looking at the sea surface temperatures at the beginning of the year. No new updates on that. And once I do have one, I will make an updated video on that. Hadley Sheffield donated $1. Thank you so much for the donation. Greatly appreciated. I just put the Twitter handle back on because somebody asked again. Okay, so this is actually with some of the tornadoes. So this is what the highways look like, guys, right now. This is why it's becoming such a bad situation. It's hard for emergency crews to get through this, obviously, with these pine trees down. This is heavily wooded areas there in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, those areas. So that's why these Dixie Alley type tornado situations are very dangerous. It's much easier to get to these emergencies in the plains than it is in these wooded areas. Oh, so this is near Monroe here. Here's some down power lines. Guys, this is why we got the particularly dangerous situation and also a tornado emergency. Look at these metal and steel poles that were just taken down. I believe they are. They might be wood as well. But, I mean, this is just demolished. It looks like we have some damage here as well. It's a very dangerous situation we had earlier. Yep. Okay. So good job, guys. Keep these coming as we get more updates. Okay, we got more. Okay. Everybody's tagging me in this. Thank you. Oh, wow. Apparently this is Monroe. Look at that, guys. This is some sort of airport. Look at that. That came in 1 minute ago. I think that's in Spanish or French or something, so it's really hard to even, for me to comprehend that, obviously. Oh, wow. There's a home. That's what we're talking about when we say destroyed, guys. Wow. Andrew Coate just donated $50, guys. Thank you so much. He said, you deserve this for keeping people weather aware in these areas. I live in Charlotte, expecting some severe weather tomorrow, possibly a tornado. Yes, thank you for the donation. Please stay safe, as this situation isn't going to get any better. We are going to have very dangerous situations come up your way as well. Everybody stay safe during this, please. That was probably the record biggest donation I've actually ever gotten, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to mute this because I really don't want to hear this on the stream, just in case there's any language or anything. I think that can get you like demonetized, so I really want to be careful. Okay, so this actually is from our current tornado. This is on Facebook, so This guy looks to be driving around Tyrone Dickens on Facebook. Great job by him to go look at the damage. Keep everybody aware of what's going on. Okay, this is where it looks like it gets really bad. Look at this area that he's in. Look at these houses, guys. This was our Monroe Tornado. Those houses are fine over there, but then it looks like on the other side just completely demolished. Flattened. This is why the reports were not exaggerating. This is absolutely destroyed. These houses, you can't just rebuild that. I mean, this does not look good. That looks like half a house is gone. Completely flattened. I mean, there's wood everywhere. This looks like a damaging, large, major tornado. Looks like he just stays right there. Oh, there's another house. You can see, look at that. You can just see the kitchen. You can see the cabinets right through from the outside. But look at all these people helping. This is what we need more in this world, is just people there to help their neighbors. But that looks like cabinets and maybe a bar, a door. The wall's completely gone. And that's why it's so important to go into an interior room or a basement. I mean, look at that. If you're in that room, you're going in the tornado. It's going to take you away because there's nothing there left to protect you from the wind. This house, look at that, guys. That looks like somebody's kitchen or dining room. Just completely filled with insulation everywhere, but the roof is gone. And these amazing people look to be just looking for people that need rescuing. But, I mean, look at this, guys. Just completely demolished. This was definitely a very damaging tornado on the higher end of the EF scale. That's all I'm going to say. This was definitely a major tornado. Wow. Guys, thank you for sharing that with me. Guys, by the looks of it, you can say what you think the EF is, but really this isn't the only damage probably. So just based off of this, you can try to make an estimate, but really do we know that this is where the most of the damage is? This was a long-lived tornado, actually. Was this... That's the airport. That might have been fake, somebody said. Somebody burnt their cauliflower pizza because they were watching my stream. So it's good on you for paying attention and being weather aware, though. All right, thank you guys so much for sending that. This is definitely what we need more of, when we're doing these streams. Just having people tag me in this stuff really makes it helpful. So I like this style of streaming more than just kind of being blind to what's actually happening. So very, very cool stuff here. Thank you for sending it in. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, and I will retweet some of these sometimes. I like that when you guys send me in stuff. Now remember, that wasn't our only tornado. We also had a northern tornado to the north of it, and we have no idea what the damage is from that one. That one looked even more major at times, so it's really hard to say. Do you see how these aren't, discrete? They look more embedded. This storm's blowing up in front of it. This was kind of what we were scared of. Could have really made a bust in the forecast. This one looks like the beginning of a supercell, actually. We're about to see a lot of development here out in front of this main line. But we still have rotation and observed tornadoes within this. I'm guessing somewhere up here to the north, near Lake Province, but I can confirm that actually. Yep, right there near Lake Province is where we still have rotation. Let's go ahead and take a look at that correlation coefficient. I'm trying to determine if that's actually an area of damage. It looks like it might be. We'll lean on the side of it could be. So let's assume that there's an active tornado somewhere between Lake Providence and Cary near Mayersville and Rolling Fork as well in Mississippi. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning here. It's just to the east of Yazoo City, wherever that is. Jackson, Mississippi area. Looks like they just had a thunderstorm come through, but we're going to see these supercells start to develop to the south and then head through that area. Very curious to see how this plays out here in the coming minutes and hours. We're going to have to watch this one very closely. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go soon, guys. I have plans this afternoon, so I'm going to try to get us to the end of this tornado warning here. Till 2:15, so we have a long time. I just got another mention. I think this is the one we just watched. Yeah, this is the one we just watched, except that's on Twitter. Yeah, here's some videos somebody took of that same video we watched on Facebook. We still haven't observed tornadoes. So this is a very long-lived one if it's still on the ground. It was in Monroe, and it's all the way into Mississippi at this point, so... Am I in any danger? No. I live in Virginia, so... not till tomorrow. Gonna try to see if we can see any more. Yeah, it looks like our main area of rotation is in there. Possibly a second one. The storm mode is, I agree with Douglas, it is looking quite messy compared to what we were expecting. No discrete supercells at this point, with maybe the exception of these ones near Jackson. I probably won't be streaming tomorrow, but we'll see. It is possible. Yeah, this rotation's looking pretty messy right now too. I don't think there's any indicated area of damage at this point. So, yes, the National Weather Service is still saying this is an observed tornado. Xander, if I have the energy tomorrow and the time, I will stream. I promise. But sometimes these really make my throat struggle for a couple days after I'm done with them. So I'll just have to see where I'm at. Thank you, Harrison, for the kind words. Thank you. It's a really nice comment you put there. Don't want to die. I am feeling good. Uh, I haven't left my house in over 14 days, so I'm fine. Everybody here in Virginia has been doing very good. I kind of just not really doing much. I'm just going to be spending time with family. It's not like a gathering, so I know there's concerns, but tomorrow I'm a bit in the danger zone of these tornadoes. At 12:41 near Transylvania. Where's Transylvania? I guess it's somewhere in here, so I guess we still have one. Well, we don't have a tornado warning in Pennsylvania, so no, I can't show you my face. I haven't done it to this date, and I don't really plan on it. Oh yes, we are getting a lot more pictures here. So this is actually from Monroe. This airport here, not looking good. That was the one we saw earlier. Somebody said, how late am I going to be on? Probably another 30 minutes or so. Yeah, the airport is not looking good. Yikes, that's not looking good there in that living room. Obviously, that whole wall is gone. Let's see that rotation real quick. I think mostly along here. Oh, also right here. We do have actually near Cary, it looks like a pretty tight area of rotation. Usually we see 1 or 2 high risks a year. So somebody asked if I think we will see a high risk. Probably. It's probable that at least once a year we usually see one. Thanks for the kind words, guys. A few people have said some really kind words. I think we might be picking up some damage here near Cary. Just gotta let this load in properly. Possibly. Let's see where this moves real quick. As the new frame comes in. Yeah, that rotation became pretty broad, so we're just gonna have to keep watching it. If you want to get the best information, I would follow, well, your local news would be a good source probably for just tornado warnings in general. That's probably the first thing I'd recommend. Pretty broad areas of rotation here. People are asking what this is. This is WSV3. It's a radar program that you can get on your computer. We're at 800 likes. Thank you so much for all that, guys. That really helps the algorithm. I don't think we maybe have one active tornado in here somewhere, but outside of that, we're looking in good shape right now. Even though, if that's actually legit, I'll have to see in a second. If you want WSV3, type in the letters WSV and then the number 3, and it'll come up. No, it's not free to install. It's $25 a month, actually, so it's quite pricey. We have no tornado right now. That's what I'm hearing. Yes, radar indicated at this point, so we are at a point where we have no confirmed tornadoes right now, which is really, really good news. I'm about to go ahead and go, guys, because this seems like a really quiet moment, a good time for me to go ahead and get out, considering there's nothing to cover for the next little while. Please stay safe, everybody. Pay attention to your local news networks. Probably would be the best source for tornado warnings. So take all the tornado warnings today seriously. We've seen that these tornadoes are developing quickly, in a hurry, and they're catching even people watching the radar off guard. So please take all tornadoes warnings seriously, because these are popping up very, very quickly. Be sure to subscribe if you want future streams as well, if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel. I'm going to be doing these for pretty much all moderate events, at least some enhanced risks as well. So most big severe weather events I will be live covering unless something big comes up. But even today's Eastern, I found time. I probably will not be back on the stream today, but there is a chance I'll stream tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then the next big severe weather event I will be doing. Yeah, thank you to the mods. I love that comment because they deserve a lot of credit. They do a great job, and everybody who's helped out during this stream. It is kind of like a team effort, just getting the information. Thank you to everybody who tweeted stuff to me. It's really just helpful, and it keeps the stream more informative, and it's made the stream a great stream today. This has been one of my favorite streams I've ever done. You guys have been extremely helpful. It's been great. It has been great, guys. So be sure to subscribe for future content. Follow me on Twitter. Tweet stuff at me. Yeah, I do daily weather videos as well, so it's not just streams. Daily weather videos, including weekly forecasts, which I didn't do today. I'm probably going to do for tomorrow. So yeah, I'll check Twitter one more time for you guys. Somebody asked. See if I got any more. Let's see. Oh, here's some damage. Looks like minor damage there, maybe to moderate damage. We'll have to see once everything comes back. This is a street in Monroe. Oh, yeah, that's the same one. I think this is the one we've already seen. That's the airport as well. So yes, we did have a large damaging tornado. Wow. All right, guys. Stay safe out there. Large damaging tornadoes today. Swelch donated $5 last minute. It's a great job today. Thank you so much for that. I'm probably just going to end it because, you know, I'm not going to be able to be up here. I just want to be able to be a part of the stream. It makes me uncomfortable to have the stream going, just not knowing what's getting commented like on my channel and not being able to keep track of it. So I'm probably going to have to end it. But, you know, you guys can always, you know, find places to communicate. Just, our Weather Freaks group is a great place on Facebook. So you can follow or you can join that Facebook group. Or we have a Reddit now, a subreddit called Weather Freaks. You can get on that too. You can always communicate with each other on there about weather and active weather going on. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this stream. I will see you guys in the next video and stream, and hopefully I see you guys in the comments as well.